Hello, I am Ashley Farrell and this is Reakash, and we are going to be doing this week's vlog for Flirt magazine. Of course, well, not of course or as always, but today we are filming on Treaty 6 land and out from my home. And Reakash is going to help me demonstrate downward facing dog or Adho Mukha Svanasana. Yeah, so this is going to be a good time, and I'm just going to let Reakash tell you a little bit about themselves before we start.
Hi, my name is Reakash, and it was important to me, I think, just because it connects me not only to my body, but to my spirit and my breath, because a lot of times I know it's difficult, or we always forget to breathe and really breathe, so yoga helps me with that.
Yeah, totally. And I always say that if you can breathe, you can do yoga. It's not about being able to get into super fancy poses or like being super flexible or even like muscular strong, you know, there's lots of different pieces of it, and breath is probably the most central. Yeah. All right, cool. So we're going to get into downward dog, and Reakash is going to help me, so I'm going to get off of her mat. All right, and we had a discussion earlier that it is cool for me to adjust Reakash, and so just in case you're wondering, she gave me the okay. All right, so we're going to start in not downward facing dog, we're going to start in a tabletop position. So knees are stacked over hips, shoulders are stacked over wrists, and I'm going to get you, Reakash, to bring your hands out a little bit wider apart. So I always invite people when they're moving in through downward dog to get the hands about as wide as the mat. And you know, Reakash has done a little bit of a warm up here, so I always suggest that folks never try to just pop up into down dog lest you are interested in straining shoulders or muscles in the backs of the legs. Also, if you've got carpal tunnel or you're in like the latest trimester of a pregnancy, I'd suggest you know, trying one of the modifications that we'll show you a little bit later, as opposed to going into the full expression of the pose. So from here, on a nice deep inhale, we're going to go into the cow position. So getting a nice deep sway in the back, sit bones are lifting to the ceiling, and on the exhale, you're going to tuck the toes, press down through that index finger mound, pressing down through the palms, and you're going to lift the hips up and back, keeping a nice deep bend in through the knees. Now bending in through the knees so much so that the belly almost comes to rest on the thighs. People seem to think that in down dog the most important part is getting the legs straight, but really the most important part is getting that nice straight line from wrists, elbows, shoulders, and all the way up to the hips. Pardon me. Now, I'm going to get you to take a nice deep inhale here, Reakash, and rotate those biceps in towards the ears just a little bit more. Root down through that index finger mound, spread those fingers nice and wide, soften through that heart chakra and through the solar plex chakra. And as you exhale, then start to lift the hips up. Good. Awesome. So as you can see here, you know, keeping that nice straight line. If you feel like the shoulders are going to start coming out of line with the hips, keep a bend in the knees. Good, you can come down from here. So that's the fullest expression of the pose. We're going to just do a little quick modification. So if you've got carpal tunnel or, you know, this is something that's like really hurty for the wrists, you can always come into dolphin pose, or some people like to call it puppy, downward facing puppy. So basically it's just like doing down dog from your forearms. So if you want to get onto forearms, yeah, perfect. And so we're going to come into it just like we came into down dog. So imagining now, instead of rooting down just through that index finger mound, you're going to root down through the index finger mound and also through that entire space of the forearm, anywhere that the body connects with the mat. Nice. We'll still take a deep inhale here and move into kind of a modified version of cow. And then as you exhale, lifting those sit bones up and back. Again, let's bend in through the knees really quick. Yeah, drop that belly to the thigh, and then Spin the biceps in towards the ears, drawing the shoulders together on the back. Good. Deep inhale here, and then as you exhale, start to lift the sit bones up and straighten the legs. Perfect. Awesome. All right, you can come down from there. Right on. Now, straighter legs don't mean that you're like any better of a person. So if you can't get your legs straight in down dog, don't worry. Just keep breathing, keep practicing, and it will inevitably progress from there. Yay! All right, so that was downward facing dog, a couple different variations. You can also try, if you find that it's hard on the wrists, putting the hands up on blocks or doing it on the hands resting on a chair. Again, if you have any questions, you can always email me at fairyogi@gmail.com. That's FAIRYOGI@gmail.com. And you can stay tuned for next week's yoga vlog. Yeah, these are like yoga fingers. We'll be filming from Treaty 7 territory, yeah, down in Calgary. I'm talking a little bit about the decolonization of yoga. Yay! See you next week.